Welcome back to the Daily Crypto Market. I need you to lock in. I need you to pay attention right now because what is happening is an opportunity in disguise. In the last 24 hours, $883 million worth of longs were liquidated because of Bitcoin's pullback. This is a massive spike similar to what we saw back at the beginning of this month in August, on August 1st. You can see right there, this day was 922 million. We still have about 30 minutes left in today's candle, but something really important happened with BTC. Now, I got a lot of questions from you saying, are you sure that the CME Gap closed, Aaron? Are you sure you're sure? And I was sure, just based off of how the price was reacting. But when I look at the CME chart now, well, guess what, ladies and gents? It's officially closed. It officially closed yesterday. Hooray. You guys were right. I was wrong. I was premature to say it closed. Now that it's close, though, one thing to keep in mind is, yes, that was a nasty pullback for Bitcoin. Dropping 4% in a day is brutal. But look at what's happening now. For starters, the chart did not fall, or rather, Bitcoin did not fall inside of the daily TBO cloud. If it does, this is a sign of bearish consolidation to continue. A tag back to the daily TBO Fast line is essentially a springboard bounce. That's how I perceive it. Nothing has changed with the macro trend for Bitcoin. It continues to point, or the slow line continues to point up, not the price of Bitcoin. Now, again, this level right here, this support level / resistance level has been super duper annoying on linear. We didn't even touch it, but of course we're dancing with it every single day, which is frustrating. But more importantly, this level right here, $124. Now, what is that? 124K. What is that about? That is about the 2018 Fibonacci levels. And I actually have to zoom out a whole lot more so you can see this chart. Now, the reality is that I rarely use the 2.0 Fibonacci extension level, mainly because it hasn't been effective in previous markets to help us determine where there might be future resistance, okay? So it's an interesting coincidence that Bitcoin literally tagged it and got rejected. I'm not going to say, oh, well, that was it. That was the top. Not at all. In my opinion, I am buying the dip. For me and myself, I am buying the dip today. Looking at volume for Bitcoin, this is great. We want to continue to see volume up, surpassing the moving average here. This is a very positive sign despite the bearish price action. Yes, we did not get our bullish cross up above the moving average for on-balance volume. Yes, RSI has taken a beating just like the price has. But when we look at the 4-hour time frame, there's a couple of things I want to bring to attention. One, we have these TBO breakouts. Unfortunately, TB2 bearish divergence, that was confirmed last night at 9 p.m. and then a TBO close long. We're going to see a lot of these blue diamonds. This symbol right here is not the same as this. TB2 divergence is a separate indicator that's available with the the pro tier of the Better Traders Club. What I want to share with you though is that these are basically, I don't want to say buy the dip signals, but they kind of are, because they typically happen after a major sell-off and the price is very overextended, meaning it's very far from the fast line. And what we typically see happen next is a sharp correction back up to the fast line, which is right now at 119,000, basically 120K. We're almost done with today's candle as well. And looking at RSI, while we didn't have a full RSI reset, meaning RSI falling below 25, it feels like an RSI reset. I personally believe that we're going to see Bitcoin go up here to the fast line. It's only a 1% increase. It's not that big a deal. As long as the metrics still look good on the daily, which they do, and the TBO still looks strong bullish, which it does, and the weekly still looks fine, which it does, I'm not really worried. I'm not really freaked out. It's interesting to have this little bit of a pullback, but I don't think that it's necessarily over. There's just way more resistance than we realized as we were getting up here and getting excited across the market. Ethereum has also taken a hit. Wick to wick, Ethereum dropped 7%, but it's currently going to close just inside of 4% down for the day. Now, this is the biggest pullback Ethereum has had probably since back over here, the 1st of August again. But what happened after that? We saw a little bit of a turn down, a bounce off the 786, and we went up higher. I'm not entirely surprised that Ethereum is struggling here at the previous all-time high at 48.68. We should not get too, how do I say this? Too greedy up here. This is not the best place in my opinion. I would not be opening up a long here for Ethereum. I already opened up my long a while ago with ETH.BTC, and that position is still in the green, to be honest. And the beautiful part about ETH.BTC is that when both of these are moving down together, we don't really see a huge drop. If anything, ETH.BTC actually tagged the 0.5 fib level yesterday. So this is a really good sign. I'm not really worried about this chart personally. And I think that I'm going to continue to see ETH.BTC move up higher to the 618. Now, the daily chart for ETH is looking a little bit rough with this pullback, but is it above the daily TBO cloud? Yeah. Are all 4 lines of the TBO cloud pointing up? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Is volume really strong today? Yeah. So is it strong bearish? Oh no, this is just a pullback. And again, I'm approaching every pullback right now as a buy the dip opportunity. Let's go further, okay? Bitcoin dominance. This is extremely interesting. Usually when we see a pullback on Bitcoin, we usually see an increase in Bitcoin dominance. But today, we're basically seeing nothing, no reaction whatsoever, which is really weird. It's actually good because as long as we see the slow line curling down, which it is, and we still have our valid TBO breakdowns, which is good, then we should see dominance go in favor of alts, even though things got smacked literally upside the face. Ethereum dominance might actually close up green. There's still a few minutes left in this daily candle, 24 minutes left. But this is insane. Like, where's the strength right now? Where's the interest? Is it Bitcoin or Ethereum? Dominance, this is why it's so important. Now, stablecoin dominance combined and stable.C.D both did something I don't like. See this orange flag right here? This denotes a TBO closed short, which is a bullish reversal signal. Now, remember when I said, oh, okay, it had this bounce up here and we tested previous support, confirming it as resistance, and it fell down. I was all excited. Basically, we saw a replay, instant replay, like American Gladiator style, instant replay. What are those guys' names? Like Diamond, Ice. Oh, so good. Anyway, are they going to bring that? Did they bring that back? I don't know. It's been a while since I've been in the States. Anyway, distracted much? A little bit. So seeing stablecoin dominance pop like this, 4%, not surprised with the pullback to the magnitude of which we saw. But again, I'm seeing it go up, but not exceed this support level, which again is respecting it as resistance. This is good to me. Now, the obvious truth is that on the 4-hour time frame, we're seeing a lot of these TBO close longs. We're going to see a lot of them today, but it's all on how you pay attention to them. It's all on how you interpret them. If you interpret this as an expectation that the price will go back up to the fast line, then it's a buy the dip signal. For others, for total ETH.D, for total ES in general, for total E50, we have it all on these. Now on the daily chart, for total ES, yeah, it's a pretty big pullback across the board. Saw the crypto market lose about $155 billion. But again, I don't necessarily think that everything is over because of this pullback, especially when I see news stories like this. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent posted, 4 hours ago, Bitcoin that has been finally forfeited to the federal government will be the foundation of the strategic Bitcoin reserve that President Trump established in his March executive order. In addition, the Treasury is committed to exploring budget-neutral pathways to acquire more Bitcoin to expand the reserve and to execute on the president's promise to make the United States the Bitcoin superpower of the world. I mean, when I see that, it's kind of hard for me to feel bearish. Now, there are other things to pay attention to as well. This to me is hilarious. You guys have heard me talk about Tron quite a bit. More power to the guy. He's very rich. He's very wealthy, but this is really interesting. Do you remember a couple of days ago, maybe it was yesterday, Justin Sun was posting, and like there's news about him posting that he's basically suing Bloomberg because he divulged information that was potentially harmful to him. This is actually what he said. Justin Sun wanted to sound rich for the billionaires list. So he divulged to Bloomberg proof that he owns 60 billion TRX tokens. He owns almost 2/3 of the supply of Tron. That's insane. Just so you know, all of you that have been trading meme coins, that's the same thing. Like, how is this any different? Having 2/3, almost 2/3 of the supply is shocking. It also clearly explains the price action of Tron, at least in my opinion, because the chart just keeps going up. There's no sell pressure because 2/3 of the supply is basically locked. He's not going to sell. Why would he? He just wants it to go up so he can be more and more wealthy. Absolutely insane. Now, again, I do have other things to share with you as well. Over on Discord, just so you know, another TBT stop loss hunting alert was triggered at 10 p.m. yesterday. I did not catch this. I was asleep. We saw the last recent ones triggering on the 11th, so that means we have a fresh one. It's not terrible. It's not the end of the day or end of the world, rather. It just is, okay? But I do want to let you know that today there's going to be a live stream on the Better Traders Club Discord server that is hosted by one of our coaches, and you can get access to that by going over to thebettertraders.com. The club, which is right over here, includes a lot of awesome stuff. And these Better Traders Club live sessions are headed up by our coaches, where they're going to be taking questions. They're going to be sharing insights and information on how they're trading the market, the tools and the strategies that they use. Now, to get access to this, you have to sign up to the trader tier or the pro tier of the Better Traders Club. The trader tier includes the TBO. It includes the August watch list and every single monthly watch list, DCA backtester templates, all that good stuff. The pro tier includes the TBT divergence and basically everything. And if you're like, well, that sounds great, but I need more help. I need information to get me started. Go to the Better Traders. Check out 50 Minutes to Financial Freedom. It's the best place to start for understanding automated trading tools, focusing on the All Trading platform. We talk about automated trading strategies with our free TBT signals and also trend trading strategies using the TBO and also AB trading concepts. Now, over here on on AllTrading, you can actually see 2 bots that I'm running right now for SUI. I have been learning more about the SUI ecosystem, and I'm buying SUI, but not buying and holding it. I'm using bots, so that way I can navigate all this craziness that's happening. And you can see all the green arrows right here are buys, and the reds are sells. The orange. I can tell colors. It's okay. I'm not colorblind. Nothing wrong if you are. It's okay. Oh, okay. Hold on. I am actually not yellow. I'm white. I don't know what that means. Colorblind. Yellow arrows. Let's go back to it, shall we? So the the yellow arrows are showing us open positions. So we can say our first buy, our second buy, our third buy. Buying on the dip like this allows us to sell on the bounce, which is what I expect to happen next. And even if that doesn't happen, there's actually another order down here to buy more. And all of this is automated. All of this is set up using the DCA backtester and actually settings that I shared in the August watch list. I actually share DCA bot templates every single month in the Better Traders Club. I also have my position open still for ETH.BTC. I finally got my profit taken, which is a good feeling. So now that I've taken profit, 75% of my position has been closed. That means I just have 25% less left, which is awesome. Especially if you zoom out, I'm basically in a no stress position. The price of Ethereum would have to dump 34% for me to be back in the red. So I'm literally sitting pretty. I've already secured a good profit with this trade. I'm just going to let the rest ride because why mess with things? Like, even if it falls back down here, another, 12, 13%, I'm good. And knowing the fact that ETH.BTC knowing that Ethereum rather is really strong right now, I actually expect ETH.D to continue moving up higher, which means that I make more Bitcoin in this trade. It's a win-win situation. Honestly, it's great. It hasn't always been win-win. Just so you know, it's been a very much lose-lose situation for such a long time. And yes, my automated long here for BTC using the TBO is still open. Now, do I wish I took out some profit up here when it was like 8% profit? Of course. But I'm not going to touch the position. I'm going to let it ride because this is what automated trading looks like. I don't want to get involved with this. I want to make sure that the trade just does what it does. I do expect Bitcoin to bounce today, but I'm going to see what happens with this position. Hopefully, it has a nice outcome. Hopefully. Now, let's get into today's picks. Because the market is very violent right now, there are a lot of picks. And I know you guys have been asking for specific coins. There's some fringe coins you guys are asking for. I'm just not going to look at those. Like stuff on the Solana network. No. I'm mostly focusing on coins that are within like the top 100 to 200 market cap in that range, just so you know. And again, no promises that I'm not going to look at everything that you guys request, but I am trying to pick coins that you guys are interested in and also give you updates, okay? So first off, we need to talk about ADA. ADA or ADA, Cardano, did a couple of incredible things. For one, Cardano, wick to wick, moved up 16%, which is crazy. Volume yesterday was roughly 6 times the moving average. Maybe five times. I can't do the multiple in my head. But for Cardano, this is a massive move. It's one of the few green charts today. Why? Well, there's some news about an ADA spot ETF, which is very bullish. One exciting thing about today's price action is the fact that we now have something I call a predictive wick. A predictive wick is a reasonable upside long, thin wick that tells the market we could do this again. Just like it did back over here, just like it did back over here. Now, this one unfortunately failed, but we can see eventually the price did reach that level and it moved up even higher. The other significant thing is that on the weekly time frame, we can see this a lot more clearly. ADA moved above overhead resistance. It moved above it, it pierced it, didn't close above it. I think it actually has a shot at closing above it. But this is a strong bullish chart. One other thing to keep in mind is that when the market is bullish, pay attention to the runners because a lot of people will be allocating their finances towards runners, especially when the majority of the market is red. Solana, this one, and this one is blue, by the way, forgive me, because it has TBO breakouts here. I don't have a white flag because the default the default setting here is for TradingView to be in light mode, which I don't use. I don't like it. So anyway, we have TBO breakouts here that are white, which won't show up in light mode, which is why I like it in dark mode, and also why I use these light blue flags. So that's what the light blue flag means. I would love to see ADA move above this. I think it will, just because of the good news and the strong momentum it already had. Solana still has its valid TBO breakouts. Unfortunately, it dumped with the rest of the market. It did respect TBO resistance here at $205, but it actually went up higher. It went up to $209, which is insane. Yes, the pullback is unfortunate, but volume doesn't lie. Seeing volume move up like this is an extremely positive sign. I know this doesn't feel positive, but do you know what these long lower wicks show? This shows demand. To be honest, when we see long lower wicks like this and they get gobbled up, we see the close up here, and even on this candle, seeing a long lower wick of 2.74%, almost 3%, and seeing the price go back up shows demand. That's what demand looks like. Hype, this one also has TBO breakouts, and of course we have a pretty nasty pullback, but it's above the cloud. It's still strong bullish. Arbitrum, this one had a TBO breakout on the daily yesterday. Unfortunate 9% pullback. Still has a valid TBO breakout cluster on the 4-hour. The price, again, showing demand. It's actually tagged the 4-hour fast line several times. KuCoin shares. KCS, this one has 3 TBO breakouts. There's a little bit of a separation right here with these 3 candles, nothing, but that was a great breakout move. And again, it's up. It's 4% up on the day. Why is this moving? Probably because KuCoin is trying to copy what happened with OKB. If you missed the memo, OKB pumped over 100% in a day because they basically burned 75% of the supply. I honestly feel like that's a mistake on their part, and they're just trying to not talk about it. But that's a huge amount of the supply to burn up. Anyway, Arrow still has a valid TBO breakout cluster. We saw a nice retrace back to the fast line and a push up higher. To be honest, that's kind of what I'm looking at for these other ones. It doesn't have to happen, but there is a good chance that we get another springboard bounce like that. Morpho. Now, this is where it starts to get a little bit murky. TBO breakout cluster, kind of okay push, but then we have a TBO close long on the 4-hour. Whenever we see these TBO close longs, it negates the TBO breakouts, in my opinion. On the daily time frame, this is where it's hard. We see a breakout, which is good. This is the 3rd one, so it's done. There aren't any more that it can print, but it's clearly struggling. Now, it did have a TBO springboard bounce, again, returning back to the fast line. It's always a great target for pullbacks. I talk about this a lot when markets are sideways like this. Now, Aptos regrettably lost a lot of ground yesterday. After moving up to $5.17, it retraced back to the fast line. I really didn't want to point this out when I was so excited about the close short, but again, I've said it before. I said it yesterday. The close short basically gives us a short-term expectation of the price returning back to the fast line before bouncing. There's our return to the fast line. So hopefully we get our bounce. In the 4-hour time frame, we have a breakout, which is exciting, except now we have a TBO close long in progress. If Aptos happens to pop right now and shoot up higher, it could disappear, but that's not so great. It doesn't take away, though, from the fact that we have a TBD bullish divergence cluster on the weekly. Ethereum Classic is still bullish. That's what this green flag means. To me, it actually just dipped back down to tag the TBO fast line for a springboard bounce. The weekly time frame still looks bullish. The 4-hour time frame, yeah, it looks a little bit bearish. But again, this is our re-entry after the price has fallen down like 9%. Mantle, this one is holding up really well considering the fact that it popped up to $1.20. I'm a little bit shocked, to be honest, that it hasn't fallen more. I don't know what's happening with Mantle, but it is a very interesting chart, and volume is picking up with it as well, which we should pay attention to. When volume starts to move up like this, don't fade the charts, guys. Don't fade them, okay? Now we have some must-watch updates, some news for charts. Unfortunately, Dogecoin, Doge, pierced, well, it tested and it pierced today, overhead resistance, but it didn't close above it, which is really discouraging. It's been below resistance ever since December when this trend line was put in place. But volume is looking good for Doge. I mean, volume's going to look good for everything because everything's had a massive pullback. Link, this one got rejected at overhead resistance, but volume remains strong on the 4-hour, a second TBT bearish divergence signal yesterday afternoon. It did go inside of the cloud, but again, I just can't shake the feeling that it's a pullback, a short term. It's still above the 618. I don't really see a reason to panic personally, and I'm not. Near, this one had a great push up yesterday above short-term overhead resistance, tagged TBO resistance, and it got rejected back below support, which is now again resistance. But look at volume. Again, volume is coming back, and it's a good sign. Pengu, this one had a harder move, unfortunately. The slow line is still up. It had a drop of almost 12%. But what I'm highlighting here is an opportunity. It actually fell to TBO support on the 4-hour time frame. This is why I love the TBO indicator so much. Now, I'm not going to get greedy and wait for the trade to go right up here to the 786. But again, everything is really oversold right now in the short term. So Farcoin as well had a really nasty pullback. Wick to wick move, 21%. It's down 12% on the day, but volume looks good. I know you don't want to hear that, but it does. And again, a long lower wick like this shows demand. I know you don't mean to say that, but it does. I just can't, I can't stop talking about this coin just because I think it's still a good, a good chart that I'm paying attention to. Now, for some bearish confirmation signals, this isn't really a surprising sign at all. Oh, did you see that? It disappeared. That's good. That's actually perfect because we have 5 minutes left. It could actually pop back. I'm going to stay here for a second. I want to help you guys understand a concept about something called repainting. Some indicators repaint. Repainting is when you open the chart, you're looking at things, it looks just like this. And then you come back a day later and the position of these signals have changed, or these signals have changed, or where like all this stuff has changed. That's repainting. One indicator that does that a lot is average true range. It's a very deceiving indicator that does repaint. Be warned. Now, there's a difference between repainting and confirmation. We still have 5 minutes and 16 seconds left until this daily candle closes, and this signal will flash on and off until the candle closes for today. So this isn't repainting, this is just waiting for the candle close. Just the same as if we were on the 1 minute time frame watching all this stuff flash on and off, it doesn't mean that it's repainting, it's just waiting to find out what's going to happen based off the criteria for TBT divergence. But this is now the sixth one that might print on the daily time frame. It's telling us that we should be expecting a pullback, but as long as the slow line is curling upward, which it's strong bullish, this chart remains really interesting for trading, in my opinion. Litecoin, this one got rejected from above the 618, down 7%, TBT bearish divergence. That's probably going to hold, to be honest. Crow, this one has a confirmed, probably, TBT bearish divergence today. But do you remember yesterday and the day before, I was like, guys, I know Crow's been bullish, but just know that it has some TBT divergences right here, bearish ones, and a cluster that I shared yesterday. TBO closed long on the 4 hour. So I didn't think the whole market would pull back. But what's really interesting is look at where it pulled back to. TBO support right here. It's actually a really good entry. And that's how I'm treating all of these pullback signals, by the way. IP. This one had a TBT bearish divergence on Monday this week. On the 4 hour, yeah, same thing here on Monday at 9 p.m., closed long. And the chart's really been struggling. Now, a good positive sign I'm seeing for this chart is that it's holding above that 618 Fibonacci level. That's a good sign because this is significant support. But if IP loses this, that could be bad. Now for some not so great news, but again, it's on how you interpret it. So all of these blue flags denote TBO close longs. And the whole purpose of a TBO close long is to let us know if you're in profit from your previous open long, consider taking out some profits after the price returns to the fast line. And in some cases, again, you can interpret this as a dip buy opportunity. Like here for XRP, the fast line is like 4% above. For SUI, it's right here. And again, you saw my bot that's running here on SUI. Actually, did it take profit yet? Oh, no. It's still working on it, but eventually it will. It's just a slow mover right now. But again, patience pays. And when I saw that too, I was like, cool. Seeing these TBO close longs, the first one is a sign of encouragement to me where I should be expecting the price to return back up because we're just overextended from the fast line. Uniswap, 4 hour TBO close long. ENA, this one on the 4 hour time frame, it has a TBO close long, but it also has these TBT bearish diversion signals. And on the daily, this one is new. It's just popping up. It's too bad. Pepe, this one had a really nasty sell-off of 10%, but TBO closed long. So we should be expecting the price to return up to the TBO fast line. Next, Caspa, this is the second one. And Bonk, you guys heard me say this before. Yes, the first one is okay. Seeing a second and a third one isn't good. The more we see these signals, the less bullish it is, to be honest. Because yes, we should be expecting the price to return back up to the fast line, but seeing a lot of these isn't great. And unfortunately, we're seeing a second one of these on SPX 6900. But look at where the price has fallen. Historical TBO support, where it actually bounced from before, back at the beginning of this month, for 32%. Not saying it's going to happen this time, but I am saying like that's a nice place to look for a bounce opportunity. And again, if we're expecting the price to go back up to the fast line, as long as the TBO cloud is bullish, which it is, and volume is slowly picking up, although not exceeding the moving average, I think that SPX should move back up. Pump, this one retraced and it printed a TBO close long. It did not close below the 382 fib level. So what we're seeing is actually a higher low, which means we should see a higher high next. This does unfortunately negate the TBO breakout cluster, which is an unfortunate side effect. We're looking at a second one right now. 52 seconds to go. CFX. Do you remember this chart from earlier in the week? I said, guys, just so you know, 3 of these TBO close longs close together, it's not a good sign, especially when I see the cloud starting to compress like this. And we saw CFX drop 20%, 22%. That's painful. And we also had our TBT bearish divergence confirmed on Monday. So is that it? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much very much short-term oversold. So I'm expecting a bounce and return back up. Zora has 2 of these right now. It's not the same though. I just want to help you see the difference. When I see this cloud starting to compress, meaning that the distance between right here, and we'll just use a percentage just to show you, that's a huge difference. And then when I start to see it compress a lot, that's when I go, that's not good. But when we can see that the cloud remains relatively the same, I mean, it has compressed a little bit, but it's not making the same shape. We're seeing this kind of thing happening like this. It's not getting thinner. It's just staying thick and it's just moving up together. But still, 2 TBO close longs like this close together, it's not a good sign. It's really not a good sign for Zora. Not saying it's going to dump or anything like that, but we should just watch for it. We should just pay attention. Now that we started the new candle close, today should be a bounce, in my opinion. The main thing we need to be watching for now is to see if Bitcoin's going to close inside of the cloud. And if it does, we're basically going to get one of these things again. Really frustrating, but that's where we are right now. But as long as we stay above the cloud, we should be looking good, in my opinion. So again, guys, there's so much more I have to offer you at thebettertraders.com. Go over, check out our courses, 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom. It comes with a 1-month trial to the Better Traders Club, the trader tier, which also includes the live stream tonight. Really excited for that. And again, I want you to watch this video that's going to help you understand how to trade pumping charts. Until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.